2, 1.
Alright, hey, I'm back again. This is Michael Mershad with Ultimate Leadership Martial Arts with our Instructor series for June. This is part 2 because we skipped May, so I did 2 here in June. And we're talking about balance in your classroom. The last video focused on the adult program, and I'm going to kick really quickly into the end of that one in order to kind of go into this one. Something I wanted to put on that one is, in your classrooms, using different pieces of equipment to make your classrooms exciting. So I'm going to hit on that in just a second here, but here's the deal. As far as our instructor videos go, these are really for owners and instructors of academies, for instructors in my academy. But if you're not an instructor, please feel free to watch these videos, because again, you're going to pick up on what we're trying to get you guys to benefit from in our programs, and so you're going to be able to see how that works. Okay, so all right, talking about balance. Balance in your classrooms could be the key to success on your Taekwondo floor. Nobody wants to go to a boring class. Nobody wants to come in every single day and just do boot camp and earn belts for doing boot camp, okay? Especially your kids' classes, all right? And so what we're going to discuss today is your kids' classes, and I'm going to start off with what I wanted to finish the last video with, but I got long-winded, and that is using equipment in your classes to make it exciting. One of the best purchases that I've made to make my adult classes more exciting are some of the striking dummies, striking bags you can put on the floor and you can do different drills on, okay? Highly recommend getting them. You can get them through Century or through Tidal or through some of those other people out there, but it's like a 50-pound bag, and we've got a couple of them where you lay them all out, you get your bag gloves on, and you just kind of go through different techniques, hammer strikes, elbow strikes, punches, hook punches, back fists. You can even stand up with your knees and do different conditioning drills with them, but it definitely throws in a totally different dynamic to your adult program when you have something on the ground that you're striking, because there's no give. Okay, you hit the bags, the weight masters, and of course they move. You have these striking dummies, and you hit that thing, and there's ground underneath it. So that gives you a lot of resistance, which is really cool. Really builds strength in your wrist, elbows, shoulders, everywhere, joints, muscles. It's just a really awesome, fun and conditioning drill. So that's the equipment that I highly recommend for the adult class. Of course, jump ropes are cool too. As far as the kids' classes go, having any type of different type of equipment out there, whether it be cones or cones with the poles out the top, look a little bit different, or things that are going to crawl under or go through like tunnels, or big mats that you're going to have like set up like a teepee. There's so many different things that you can do with your equipment, and you can look at your equipment and be creative with it. Okay, I've seen so many different videos of you guys out there doing different drills, and it's be creative, because that's a lot of fun. But be creative in the direction of where you're trying to go with your classes. Okay, so use equipment. We've gone to using our plastic boards a ton for relay races. We'll have an instructor in front of each line, or with the adults, they can hold it. And what we do is we drop down either a color board or 2 colors down, okay? And they'll do their obstacle jumps, jump, crawl, whatever they'll do, all the way up the Taekwondo floor. And then when they get to the front, they'll smash the board with a self-defense board break, which means they don't set up. The board comes up and they break it. Usually we do palm heels and front kicks for those, but you can do elbows, hammer fists, whatever you want to do, okay? But a self-defense board break on a board that's a little bit lower actually does build their confidence to break their own color board. So that's a lot of fun to do that, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning here. Balance. If you are an 8-year-old coming into the Taekwondo program, and you go into this classroom that you've never really been in before, and you go through just a traditional Taekwondo class, that might be fun. It might be fun. But if there's a little bit of music in the background maybe, or you got to kick a target, or you got to do some type of relay type of drill, or you got to play a game of dodgeball at the end, or something else that just makes it extra exciting, then they're going to enjoy it. They're going to love it, okay? So you want to balance out your kids' classes, and you want to understand, what does a kid want from the class? And with the adults, it's easy. What does an adult want? Watch the last video. But what's an adult want? That's easy. When you're talking about kids, though, you also have to think about the kid and their parent and their teacher and their grandma. Okay, so you got to think about, what does that kid really want and what do their parents want? Those are the 2 main ones. So, kid comes out to class. If it's a kid that wants to do martial arts, what do they want to do? They want to do what Kung Fu Panda does. They want to do what the movies do. Okay, they want to be superhero. They want to be awesome. They want to jump. They want to kick. They want to fly. They want to be a black belt. They just want to be awesome. That's it. No kid ever comes in and says, I want to be able to do 100 push-ups. Well, most kids don't do that, okay? So that's what the kids want when they come out here, if they want to do martial arts. If they don't want to do martial arts and their parents are making them, they want to have a good time. They want to come out and they want to have fun, and even if they don't want to be here, even if it's a kid that does not want to do martial arts, while they're here, they still want to have fun, okay? So that's one. That's that. As far as the adult goes, the parent, when a parent looks at a martial arts program and they're spending the money that they're spending on a martial arts program, they are not paying for an after-school activity. They're not paying for just any sport, okay? They are paying for a lifestyle, okay? They are investing in a program that is going to build their child's self-esteem, their speed, their strength, their focus. They're paying for a lifestyle. They're investing in the future of their child. And if you don't remember that while you're teaching your classes, and when you're planning your classes, then your classes are going to be very dry, and they're going to be very bland, because you'll forget what you're supposed to be doing out there, okay? I'm a terrible salesman when it comes to many, many things, but I want to sell my classes. When I teach my class, I want to teach it, and I want to sell it, and I want them to understand that I believe in what I'm teaching, okay? And that is so important, because if you just tell them what they're doing and you don't really sell it, they're not going to attach to it with any type of emotion. Therefore, they are not going to try hard, okay? Especially the kids. So we want to make sure that we sell our classes. If one of the parents sitting out in the lobby sees you teaching classes and couldn't hear a word you were saying, would they believe that you are passionate about this program that you're teaching? That's for you to think about. I really can't hear your answer. But when you are sitting back in your lobby, have you ever watched your instructors teach classes? If you're an owner of academy, have you ever watched some of your instructors teach classes? All right, and maybe sometimes you'll see one, and they're just not even showing any type of body language at all. They're barely showing any facial expression. You're not sure if they're alive or dead. You want to go check their pulse out there, and it's driving you crazy, okay? Now imagine your child's in that class, and you're paying $100 a month. All right? You kind of see what I'm saying. You want to make sure when you're on the deck that you are doing what that parent wants you to do. You're selling that program to the kid. You're selling that program to the parent. And you're giving them the confidence that you believe in what you're teaching. Okay? The parent wants to know that while their kid is on this mat, they are being built. They are being grounded, but they are being built from the ground up. And that kid is going to be a solid kid because they signed up at your academy. And years later, maybe 2 years after they've done Taekwondo for 2 years, then they quit 2 years after that, and they've been gone for 2 years, let's say, and they come to you and they say, I wish we kept John in that program. It did so much for him. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that from people who have stopped taking classes with us. I wish we'd kept going. He just got so much out of that. We're so glad he was in there for that amount of time because his attitude and everything just got so much better. You're going to hear that from a lot of people. So that's one thing. You want to understand what the parents want, and they don't just want to get their investment. They don't just want to get their money's worth. They want their child to have an amazing experience. Okay, so you're on the mat. You have to balance that. Okay, because if you're teaching, you could teach the most bland Taekwondo curriculum, but with high energy and with body movement and moving around and things. That's an amazing class. Okay, have you ever gone through a traditional workout with somebody that didn't have a lot of energy? It's boring. Okay, I love Taekwondo. But teach me in a high-energy type of way. All right, you're on your Taekwondo floor. You start your Taekwondo kids classes. We have our kids classes 6 days a week and several different times throughout the day. And so, as they come into class, first thing, you've got to start that class with energy. Okay, the energy level at which your class begins is the roof. You're never going to get your kids or your junior students' energy level above the way you start it. So if you start class like face front, bow. That's your energy level. It's set. You're never going to get them above that ceiling, okay? But if you are sharp, like again, in our class, if you watched the last video, our bowing is, all right, face front, kine, and academy tends begin. And we're loud, we're saying it. We say the words with the kids. I will demonstrate leadership, strength, commitment, knowledge, respect, sir. If they get that energy level up here, we're going to keep working hard to get up that high, okay? And so you want to make sure you understand that the energy level you start with is the roof. That's as high as you're going to get. So sometimes, a lot of times actually, I'll have one of my other instructors start class, okay? And they understand this. But before I explain this to them, I would have instructors that would just think, well, I'm just starting the class, so I'm not going to try as hard. My instructors now understand the way we start class dictates the way the rest of the class goes. Okay, so start with energy. From there, your warm-up drill for the kids should be easy, because you don't want it taking 100 years for them to get through some fancy crossover jump spin drill that you made up and you think it's awesome, and the adults do really well with it. But if the kids are taking forever with your warm-up drill, you're going to lose their focus. So you want something cool, something fun, maybe have them run, jump over a pad, run back. Okay, real simple stuff. But for them, kids love running. Okay, it's like babies. When they start crawling around, they love boxes. Okay, you can buy them a $1,000 item, but they just want to play with the box. Okay, well, kids, you can think of the coolest drill in the world, or have them run back and forth. Either way, they're going to have a blast, okay? And so make sure, you have that first drill that kind of engages them into the class and gets them doing something physical. Your stretches for your kids should be done. However, they should not be as long as the adults, okay? So you want to make sure you do a quick stretch with the kids. All right, the drills from there. Again, like I've said in every single thousands of videos I've made, make sure you make a class planner. Look at the class planner and say, if I were 8 years old, would I want to come to this class after a full day of school and I'm exhausted? Okay? Or would I want to leave the pool over the summertime to take this class? Okay? Look at it. Now, that does not mean we are here simply to entertain our kids and have them just do obstacle courses the whole time, or play dodgeball the whole time, or battle ball the whole time. All right? I'm not here to play with them. I'm here to train them. But the longer I keep them as a student, the more I can teach them. Make sense? You want to make sure that your curriculum and your classes are so balanced that when they go through class, they have learned something. If their parent says, "What'd you learn today?" Well, we learned that a side kick, your knee lifts up just like a front kick. Only when you pivot, it turns sideways and side kick. You want to teach them something. They can walk away with something. All right? I learned how to deal with a bully today. I learned how to get away from a stranger today. They have something that they learned. Then again, you did some drill that made them think that was hilarious, okay? We do this one drill where they have their legs out like a big horse stance or sitting stance, and one kid crawls under their legs, and then the kid that was up, with their legs in horse stance pops down into like tornado position, and the kid that crawled under then jumps over his back. And you do that like 8 times in a row. And it's the most ridiculous drill, okay? I'm sure it does help something physical, but to look at these kids have fun and smile is priceless, okay? It's just a really funny drill. Have your adults do that. It's hilarious, okay? I'll show you one day. But just have them do something that's just kind of fun, okay? They can get something out of it. It can be martial arts. It can be conditioning. But do something that's just kind of wacky during your class. Always have the promise of some type of reward at the end of class for hard work. And don't always give them that reward if they don't work hard. We play dodgeball or do some kind of type of challenge drill at the end of classes. But I let them know, guys, we are real close to losing our game of dodgeball. Let's work super hard so we can play 2 games of dodgeball. And a lot of times, they go from to okay? They really want to play dodgeball. That's like their big thing around here. So as I'm teaching class, if I let them know, all right, if your focus is slipping a little bit, remember, we're not going to play dodgeball unless all of a sudden their focus has peaked again and they're right back where they want to be. All right, guys, we're going to do a fun challenge at the end of class. Make sure whatever you want them to do. Okay, that really helps to balance them as well. And then if they worked hard, you have to play that game. You got to make sure you plan that, etch that time into your class schedule. Sometimes with my guys, I'll let them know in a fun way, if they lose their game, I'm going to give it to the next class if they work hard. So that next class, they get to play 2 games of dodgeball. All right? And let them know that the class that comes in, we can work really hard. You guys get to play 2 games of dodgeball. How hard do you think that class is going to work? Okay? And so just kind of a fun way to do it. So build that balance into your classroom. Your kids sometimes do not want to go through class with you, believe it or not. No matter how much you think your classes are awesome, sometimes they don't want to do class, okay? Again, it's summertime right now. Those kids want to be at the pool. They want to be at the water park. They want to be anywhere. When Mom says it's time to go to Taekwondo, because of their last class, how awesome it was, they're like, all right, I'll go. All right? That's the goal, for them to want to come because your last class was just that good. All right? Again, my name is Michael Mershad with Ultimate Leadership Martial Arts. You can email me at tkdohio@woh.rr.com if you have any questions or have anything that you'd like me to talk about in the future. All right? Have a great one.